G'day folks, it's Phil from 15-Minute Guitar Practice here with a concepts lesson for you. Now these concepts are breakthroughs that I had that I'm hoping will give you the same light bulb moment. And today's concept is a very simple one, but it's very powerful. For me, it was a great way and a way to finally organise all the shapes in my brain, all the scale shapes, all the patterns. The concept is what I'm calling to the left and the right of the root. It's pretty straightforward. If you take this root note here on the bottom E string at the 5th fret, that's an A note. Now if you, from where you're holding the guitar right now, if you look down at your fretboard, you'll be able to see the top edge of the neck and you'll be able to see the dots on the neck, okay? And if you're looking down at this root, if you're fingering that root, you'll be able to see there's a left hand side of this root and a right hand side as you look down upon it. And that's what I'm talking about, left and right of the root. Now, how is this so powerful? For me, it really came together when I started, instead of trying to remember all of my pentatonic shapes, all my major scale shapes, kind of consecutively one after another, when they kind of went, you know, this bit comes here and then shape 2 comes here and then shape 3. Instead of doing them kind of all in numeric order, I started pairing them to the left and the right of the root note. So for example, a minor pentatonic. If we started with the minor pentatonic with the notes to the right of the root, I would be playing shape 1. Next I would learn shape 5, which is the kind of other side of that root, the left hand side of that root. Okay, so immediately, instead of just knowing shape 1, I knew firstly another shape, and secondly, from the same root, I kind of had double the distance of knowledge and familiarity. So I went from being familiar with, you know, this small area of the fretboard between frets 5 and 8, and this bigger area of the fretboard from frets 2 to 8. Now if you carry that through to other roots, so that was our root, our A note at the 5th fret on the bottom E string. Now if you take the next A root but on the A string here, you'll get another couple of pentatonic shapes. There's that one there, and then there's this one here. Again, with those shapes, I've gone here and here, so I'm familiar with the shape that is to the left and right of the root on the A string, which gives me about that much fretboard knowledge, and I'm familiar with the shapes that are to the left and right of the root on the E string, which gives me that much fretboard knowledge. And so very quickly you can see how, you know, we're almost familiar with the entire fretboard just by using this concept of left and right of the root. And you can do it with all your scale shapes and modes, not just the pentatonics. So for example, the major scale would be, and that would be with this root and with the notes to the right of that root. And then here, let's deal with the ones to the left. So that's today's concept. Really simple, but for me it was massively powerful and transformative because I could finally give context and framework to all these shapes that were floating around my head. And you know, when you're playing, it's all about knowing where the root note is, and so having options to the left and the right of the root note meant my fretboard knowledge was kind of, I won't say doubled overnight, but it didn't take long by learning those things in pairs to really get to grips with the available notes in that particular area of the fretboard. So make sure you push this through, learn your root on the E string and the pairs of shapes, whichever you're using, whether it's pentatonics or major scale or whatever mode you're using, learn it on the bottom E string, learn it with the root on the A string, and learn it with the root on the D string, and it will help you a huge amount. So if you want to know more about this kind of organization of scales and things like that, please check out my Make My Pentatonic Scales Actually Useful course. I've jam-packed a ton of stuff in there, and there's lots of scale drills and a bunch of other stuff I've thrown in there too. So I will put the link to that below. But as for this concept lesson, that's pretty much it. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. And leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Alright, that's all for now, guys. This is Phil from 15 Minute Guitar Practice saying bye for now. Cheers.